Good evening, everybody. This is Blue. Last night more specifically, I had a very interesting time in a Facebook group. I will give the standard warning. I'm going to get cranky. I am going to cuss. If this is offensive to you, you might not want to watch this video. I try to help people that are new to paganism. I join groups that are geared towards beginners because I like to interact with people that are new to the path. I like to answer their questions the best that I can. I actually learned from this as well, because at this time I get to think back of what I went through. Well, if I would have known this back then, I wouldn't have done that type stuff. And so I had a lady in one group. She was wanting to get steered in the right direction on learning on how to do some spellcraft. Now, I was the ninth person to make a comment on this thread, but I was the first person to ask her how long she has been on this path. And she responded, just a couple months. And I explained to her that you're very new to the path. There is so much to learn. Before you do any spell work, please go a year and a day. A year and a day is kind of like a set term of time, it seems, for many pagan practices. A lot of the advancements into other levels, you need to do a year and a day of studying. Okay? So I just says, take some time. And she stated that she wasn't ready to do spellcraft, but she was wanting to add it to her studies. And so, in my opinion, this lady was level-headed. She seemed to understand everything very well. So I told her a book to get. Just one second. I'm back. Exploring Spellcraft by Jania Dunwich. Okay? I only will recommend books that I own and I've read. So see, I believe that I gave this young lady good advice. But in came the Witch Divas. A Witch Diva is somebody that wants to be the super witch, who knows everything and everything. She's an expert. She knows it all. And she's got the attitude to fucking match it. So, Witch Diva number 1 goes, why did you tell her to do a year and a day? There's no set time to do this. And, I was just explaining, there's a lot to learn. When you do spell work, if you do a lot of ritual spell work, there is your setup. You got to learn about, colors, orientation of the moon, learn how to focus and all this basic stuff before you do spell work, if you want to do your spell work right. And so Witch Diva number 1 goes, well, I was doing spell work within 2 months of becoming a pagan. Yay. In comes Witch Diva number 2. I did spell work within my first 2 years of being a pagan, and I did a binding spell, and damn, it worked. Well, fuck you. Good fucking God. I did more questions with these people and found out that Witch Diva number 1 never had anybody teach her. She taught herself. And she actually started a class to teach other people that were new to paganism how to do spell work. I think about my better half, Cindy. She's told me some things, and I agree with her 110% on this. There are people out there who own horses. They've owned horses for 20 years. You know, they get on there and they think they're great when it comes to handling horses, how to ride them and such. They never took any classes. They are self-taught. And, you know, but they think they're experts at it. And my dear sweet Cindy, she went to college for it. She knows how to handle horses, and yet she can get on the horses and she can make them behave so much better, so much calmer and all that, and they're wondering why Cindy can do so much better than they can. Cindy went to school. Cindy had somebody teach her. She didn't just jump on there, hey, I can ride a horse. And, you know, I think about dogs as well, because these witch divas are like the dog owners that think that they can train dogs. Great, you taught your Cocker Spaniel not to piss on the fucking carpet, and so you're now a master dog trainer. You can train all breeds. These were beginning Facebook groups being run by people who have no concept on what teaching is about. Like I said, they came in charging at me about I was wrong to tell somebody take their time, learn how to do all the appropriate steps, and learn how spells work before you try to do anything. I'm sorry, I'm irritated. I see so much of this happening in the pagan community, and it makes me want to fucking scream. So, my better half saw some of my gestures and my frustration. She wanted to know what was going on. And, you know, she started reading the screen. She started laughing. I made the comment in the screen that my better half is laughing at your comments. And, you know, it was, well, what does she know about witchcraft? And Cindy is a Strigan witch. And she actually has all the Gramercy books. She actually attended lectures by Raven Gramercy. And these people, these stupid, worthless people, we're just going, Gramercy isn't Strega. Gramercy doesn't know anything. Italian Witchcraft by Raven Gramercy. Raven Gramercy has written 6 books about Strega. Kind of makes him know a little bit more. And then they come up with their fucking stupidity comment. Well, Italian witchcraft does not come from books. It's not real witchcraft if it comes from a book. This is the same stupid witch diva that wants to go and proclaim the Wiccan Rede and Wicca and all that. Well, Gerald Gardner wrote a book. Yeah, he wrote a fucking book. So, it's all right for their religion to write a book, but others, you know, no, you can't write a book. Well, let me explain something to you about religion, people. If you cannot hold the same rules to your beliefs as you hold to other people's beliefs, you're a fucking joke. It's like the Christians. They want to say that their book, their wonderful Bible, is absolute truth. It is the law and all that. This is God's way, and it's not God's way. I could take any creation story in history and fictional, and because, you know, it's in a book, and compare it and say, why is this book more important than this book? Well, it's Christian, it's our religion. No, 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 no. Tell me, what's the difference? And their only difference is, well, I believe in what this book says. I don't believe in what that book says. Fucking hypocrites. And then, it's funny. Raven Grimassi, according to them, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But yet, they were offended when I questioned their abilities. I better give you this little information. I was explaining why I wanted this person to take a year and a day. One of the things that was mentioned was about understanding the phases of the moon. When the moon is waxing or waning, you do certain types of spells. That gives you the best effect. And these people were saying, well, they don't pay attention to the phases of the moons. When they're going to do their spells, they're going to do whatever spells they want. And I made the comment, so you ignore the phases of the moon. Well, you're not much of a witch, because witches and pagans, generally all pagans, not all pagans are witches, form these connections with nature. They understand the cycles, and they make this harmony. And these people are just saying, well, fuck that. And so here I'm saying, well, you're not much of a witch if you're not going to honor all these cycles. How dare I insult them? How dare I say that they're not good witches? But yet they can say Raven Grimassi knows shit about Strega. Fucking hypocrites. I'm not nice when I get mad. Always remember that. These witch divas, and it could be witch jocks as well. The people that I interacted with last night were all females. That's witch divas, okay? But guys can be also stubborn pain in the asses. So then these ladies started going and spewing numbers. I have been a pagan for 20 years. I've been training for 8 years. God damn it. Show me respect. Whoopee fucking do. If you have to go and tell somebody how long you've been doing this, and this makes you a fucking expert, you're worthless. You're absolutely fucking worthless. I know Christians, a lot of fucking Christians that are 70 years old. They've been Christians their whole fucking life. Does not make them an expert in Christianity. I bet you over half of them have never sat down and read the fucking Bible. So time doesn't mean anything. And if you have to go and say, I've been a pagan for 20 years and I've been teaching for 8, that means that you're trying to intimidate somebody. You're trying to throw out the fucking numbers to make them think, wow, she must know what the hell she's talking about. She's been doing it for 20 years. But it's like I said about the horse owner. It doesn't matter that you've been a fucking horse owner for 20 years. If you didn't take the time to learn from other people and maybe read a couple books on how to train horses and work with horses properly. And like I said with the Christians, just because you've been doing it for 70 years doesn't mean you know what the hell you're talking about. Doesn't mean you read the Bible. And yet this is what these people are doing. I don't want you to become a witch diva. Not like this. Not like these people. You got to have a humble heart. An honest, respectful heart. These people were getting upset because I was proving them wrong. They wanted to blurt out what the read was. I told them what the read was. They were saying I was wrong because they wanted to just go on strictly by the 8 words of the Wiccan Read. And I go, the Wiccan Read isn't just 8 words. You're wrong. No, the Wiccan Read was written by Doreen Valente, October 6, 1964. And then somebody came and go, yeah, he's right. If your pride gets in the way, your pride, your emotions are screwing up your energy. And you're not going to have good results as a spellcaster, as working with energy, because you're all fucked up. So you got to learn to be humble. When you make mistakes, admit it. I make mistakes. It's a part of learning. You'll learn more from your mistakes than you do from always being right. So it's good every once in a while that I screw up on something. You can't always be prim and proper and all that, even though I say, try not to cuss if you don't have to, because you're trying to put your best foot forward. Sometimes you have to do what needs to be done, and this is one of those cases where this shit needs to be done. A few days ago, I also watched a video that made me sick. There was a young lady that decided that she was having some problems with her path, and so she was working on creating a new tradition, the IDGAF tradition, IDGAF tradition. What does that mean? I don't give a fuck. Right. The I don't give a fuck tradition in paganism. And they want you to take this seriously. You're supposed to respect this because this is the way they're going to be. Well, I'm sorry there, young lady, because the fact is this. Words and emotions are energy. And if you got this I don't give a fuck personality or I don't give a fuck attitude, it's going to go into what you work with. Your spirituality is going to be corrupted and it's going to utterly fail. Okay? Because you need good intentions, a good heart. And if you don't have this, you're going to go nowhere. I don't give a fuck. And this is a reflection of this. It seems like the young pagan community. I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a fuck about that. Well, maybe you ought to get your head out of your goddamn fucking ass and start caring. Because what you build on as a foundation is what everything else rests upon. So if your whole attitude is, I don't give a fuck, well, guess what? You're not going to have anything worthwhile when you get done, or supposedly get done, building it. I'm sorry. I'm still quite upset about this. You want to work with Caradwen, Hecate, and, do your spell and all this, and with the I don't give a fuck personality, well, these gods and goddesses are going to go, well, if you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, and fuck you. And you'll fail. Again, Witch Divas. Yay. I forgot one point. Back to the Facebook group. I was saying that, spells work best when, you get everything worked out. And I want people to learn the structures and all that and see what works for them. And then this one Witch Diva comes in and goes, well, I'm not going to wait 3 months for everything to be in alignment to pay my bills. Waxing and waning of the moon, increase bills, increase income, decrease bills. Your spirituality is not to pay the damn bills. Okay? That's what we call a job. That's how you pay the bills. If you are depending on your magical abilities to pay the bills, you're a pagan for the wrong damn reason. It's time for you to get your head out of your damn ass. It is about building a life, a good life for you, and improving the world around you, not to pay the rent. God, it makes me want to go grab a piece of paper and get down all the various aspects of paganism and all these other things that people charge, like your palmistry, tarot readings, and all that, and come up with a money chart and go, and to make money to pay your rent, you need to be a whatever and do tarot readings for people. Spirituality is about here and here, not here in the wallet. But this person made the comment, about paying the bills. Well, Jesus Christ, her mentality's wrong, because her thing is it's about paying the bills. But the part that pissed me off was that she said, I'm not going to wait 3 months. Then she was talking about the waxing and the waning of the moon. We all know that the lunar cycle is 28 days. 3 months is 90 days. Why did she have to do that? Because she's a fucking diva. She has to make it all so bad. You're asking her to do this? Oh, it's like cutting off her fucking arm. Okay. Almost 21 minutes now. I better cut this rant off. Please, don't act like these people. It's alright to get upset. It's alright to cuss and all that when you need to. Level heads, think about it. Build something that's worth building. Keep your attitude in check. And be happy. Don't be a miserable fuck. And if all you're doing these videos and all that is for yourself because you're a self-centered person, you don't give a fuck about anybody else, well, hey, fuck you.